Thanks for watching the Council in Brief. I'm Susan Kennedy. The Council is back after its summer recess with a full agenda, starting with a joint committee session on the county executive's proposed curfew. For young people under the age of 18, the curfew will be 11 p.m. on weeknights and midnight on weekends. The Council remains somewhat split on the measure that was introduced as a result in the uptick of youth crime throughout the county.
You know, I came out originally and was very skeptical about the efficacy of having a curfew, but now that I've had a chance to sit and talk with some of the police officers that are out there on the front lines and understand that even as a part of the Germantown flash mob incident, that some of those individuals were stopped previously, and if there was a curfew, would have been sent home, makes a significant difference because that crime might have been prevented. And so understanding that and understanding that, again, if implemented correctly, I think that the curfew bill could actually be a good thing for us and help us to stamp out youth crime.
I've raised a lot of issues about it. I believe it's unjustified based on the situation in Montgomery County since crime is going down, gang-related crime is going down. I don't think a curfew is justified given the conditions. If people do think it's justified, then they'll have a lot of questions, I think, about the details of it. So there are lots of issues to look at. There have been curfews in place in other places that have been studied. Those results show very little impact, if any, on crime. And so one has to ask what the experience has been and is it worth trying to repeat it.
It's expected the bill will come before the council later this fall. Also a part of Tuesday's council session, a public hearing on a federal grant for the Montgomery and Prince George's Gang Initiative. The $1.2 million grant will be divided between the two jurisdictions with the goal of curtailing the spread of gang crime and violence. The Montgomery County Police Department has been chosen as the lead agency for this project.
The county, frankly, is under-policed. We are probably a couple hundred officers below the level we should be, at a minimum. And the result, of course, is less patrol activity and less flexibility. You know, if you don't have enough officers where you can move people to where they're needed because you're afraid of creating a hole someplace else, this will give us some dedicated officers who, can be focused where we really want them to be focused. And I think in the long run, we're going to have to address the size of our police force because it's just flat out not where it should be. This gives us some targeted funding that we can put to work. It also helps with Tacoma Park. There's some Health and Human Services money in there because this is not a problem you solve with police alone. You really do have to deal with, how you produce or how society produces kids who wind up in gangs. And this would be a heck of a lot easier to deal with if we could figure out how to cut off the supply of kids who go in that direction rather than being forced only to deal with the outcome. And I'm really into trying to figure out what can we do on the front end so that there are fewer kids who ever get recruited into this nonsense.
An Office of Legislative Oversight report has found the food in county schools meets or exceeds requirements at all levels of government. The report also said the schools are doing a good job at implementing practices to encourage students to eat healthy, but could do more to pursue those practices more vigorously.
Others in the school system who are in charge of nutrition are sincerely working to improve the availability of fruits and vegetables, provide healthier choices, the quality of food, improve menus. There will be more salad bars in the coming year. We got a large grant from Whole Foods, which we appreciate, to install salad bars in more schools than previously. So we're making progress little by little, but I think it's a very important issue of public health to educate our young people about healthy eating habits. It'll stick with them for a lifetime and improve public health and reduce the cost of health care.
Well, that does it for this edition of the Council in Brief. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kennedy. Thanks for tuning in.